Yesterday we brought you some news about weather that was storming at Cuba entering the USA. But we have the current news update that says tropical storm Eta has hit Florida, southern US, flooding roads, knocking out power in some areas with heavy rain and strong winds. Eta made landfall late on Sunday in the Florida Keys, and forecasters fear it could still cause flash flooding in the southern U.S. state. About 200 people are dead or missing after Eta hit Central America, earlier classified as a hurricane before losing strength. Eta wreaked devastation in Panama, Honduras, Guatemala. It also passed through Cuba before making landfall in Florida. And of course, we have stories coming your way. A relief operation is underway in Honduras after two major rivers overflowed, trapping tens of thousands of people on the roofs of their homes. That brought about over 15 years ago what happened in New Orleans when people were all stranded on top of their buildings. Eta hit Florida. Tropical storm Eta expected to strengthen after hitting Florida.
And this one about coronavirus. The first effective coronavirus vaccine can prevent more than 90% of people from getting COVID-19, and that's according to a preliminary analysis. The developers, Pfizer and BioNTech, described it as a great day for science and humanity. This vaccine has been tested on 43,500 people in 6 countries, and no safety concerns have been raised. The companies plan to apply for emergency approval to use the vaccine by the end of the month. No vaccine has gone from the drawing board to being proven highly effective in such a short period of time. There are still huge challenges ahead, but the announcement has been warmly welcomed, with scientists describing themselves smiling ear to ear, and some suggesting life could be back to normal by spring. I'm probably the first guy to say that, but I will say that with some confidence, said Sir John Bell, Regius Professor of Medicine at Oxford University. Now, a vaccine alongside better treatment is seen as the best way of getting out of the restrictions that have been imposed on all our lives. Well, that's the latest story.
And moving to the music scene right now, Jerusalem singer Master KG scoops prestigious MTV EMA Best African Act Award, beats Burna Boy and others. Master KG has once again flown the South African flag high across international waters by winning himself an MTV European Music Award on Sunday, November 9th. The Jerusalem hitmaker thanked his fans from all over the world for the incredible support. The hit track won an award for the Best African Act, beating out South African duo DJ Maphorisa and Kabza the Small, Nigeria's Burna Boy, Uganda's songstress Sheba, and Gaz Mawete of the Democratic Republic of Congo. Master shared a video message to express his gratitude. As it stands, the Jerusalem track is still making waves across the world. The song has been played more than 200 million times on YouTube. The remix with Burna Boy was also recently certified diamond in France. Congratulations to them.
Yeah.
British actor John Boyega has recalled the time his Pentecostal minister father was stopped by police on his way back from church. The Star Wars actor, who was a prominent figure in the Black Lives Matter protest in London this summer, plays a police officer in Sir Steve McQueen's new film series, Small Axe. His real-life character, Leroy Logan, was also an anti-racism reformer. Boyega stressed that Black Britons had experienced the darkest scenarios, have been stopped and searched. The Londoner told the Radio Times, and my dad, who was a Pentecostal minister, got stopped on the way back from church when I was little. Everybody knows, especially if you grew up in Peckham, somebody who's gone through the darkest scenarios with the police. He added, I do. I know a few people. A Small Axe episode entitled Red, White and Blue follows Leroy as he attempts to reform the police force from within, and after seeing his own father assaulted by 2 officers. Leroy was appointed an MBE in 2001 for his contribution to policing and retired in 2013 after 30 years of service. Once again, John Boyega says father was stopped by police on way from church.
And from where we go to Spain, 3 men had to go on trial in Spain over the deadly attacks that killed 16 people in and around Barcelona in 2017. The trio are accused of helping the perpetrators, who were all shot dead by police, carry out the attacks that left some 140 people injured. One of the perpetrators rammed a van into pedestrians in Barcelona's La Rambla tourist area before a twin attack was launched in a nearby town. The men will appear in Spain's top court in Madrid on Tuesday. Two stand accused of belonging to the jihadist cell that orchestrated the attacks, while the third defendant is accused of collaborating with them. The two men accused of belonging to the jihadist cell are Mohammed Huli Chemlal, a 23-year-old Spanish national, and 31-year-old Moroccan national Driss Houkabir. Prosecutors are seeking a 41 and 36-year jail term for them respectively. They face charges of belonging to a terrorist organization, manufacturing and storing explosives, and attempting to cause widespread destruction.
Also on the news this morning, Survivor and Big Brother America reality show cast changing, now 50% people of color. CBS has heard the calls for more diversity on its hit reality shows and is making a pledge to make it happen. The network says its unscripted shows, including the uber popular Survivor, Big Brother, and Love Island, will have cast at least 50% black, indigenous, and people of color, beginning with the 2021-22 season. In addition, CBS vows to commit at least 25% of its annual unscripted development budget to projects created or co-created by minorities and set a target of 40% BIPOC representation in writers' rooms next year too. CBS Entertainment Group's president and CEO George Chick says the reality TV genre is an area that's especially underrepresented and needs to be more inclusive across development, casting, production, and all phases of storytelling. Chick says the network's diversity pledge is just the first step in discovering new voices for content, and it goes hand in hand with a production partnership with NAACP as well. As you may know, CBS has come under fire for racial controversies on its reality programs in recent years, especially with Big Brother. House guests were slammed for making a racially charged joke about a fellow Asian house guest in July 2019. And there was an N-word controversy the year before. Likewise, Survivor has taken heat for many years for a lack of diversity among its cast and alleged favoritism of white players over minority players. CBS says its sights are set on changing all of that now.
Donald Trump fires Defense Secretary Mark Esper. Donald Trump fires Minister of Defense, American Minister of Defense, Mark Esper. President Donald Trump has sacked Defense Secretary Mark Esper, announcing on Twitter that the top U.S. official has been terminated. Christopher Miller, the current head of National Counterterrorism Center, will take on the role immediately. It follows a public falling out between Mr. Trump and Mr. Esper in recent weeks. Mr. Trump has also so far not conceded the U.S. election to President-elect Joe Biden and has vowed to challenge the projected result in court. In the weeks before Mr. Biden takes office on January 20, Mr. Trump is still empowered to make decisions. Mr. Miller was seen entering the Department of Defense headquarters at the Pentagon on Monday, shortly after Mr. Trump announced the dismissal. The former Special Forces soldier served on President Trump's National Security Council before becoming head of Counterterrorism Center in August. In a resignation letter, Mr. Esper thanked members of the armed forces and said he was proud of his achievements in the 18 months of service at the Pentagon. And there's a quote here, I quote, "I serve my country in defense to the Constitution, so I accept your decision to replace me," end of quote. Top Democrat Nancy Pelosi criticized the decision. The abrupt firing of Secretary Esper is disturbing evidence that President Trump is intent on using his final days in office to sow chaos in American democracy and in around the world, said the Speaker of the House of Representatives. Once again, Donald Trump fires Defense Secretary Mark Esper.
And from there we go to this particular story about peacekeeping. Armenia, Azerbaijan, and Russia have signed an agreement to end military conflict over the disputed enclave of Nagorno-Karabakh. Armenian Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan called the deal incredibly painful, both for me and for our people. It comes after 6 weeks of fighting between Azerbaijan and ethnic Armenians. The region is internationally recognized as Azerbaijani, but has been run by ethnic Armenians since 1994. In that year, a truce was signed after fighting, but not a peace deal. A number of ceasefire agreements have been brokered since fighting broke out again in September, but all of them have failed. The peace deal takes effect today from 1 o'clock local time, and under the new deal, Azerbaijan will hold on to areas of Nagorno-Karabakh that has been taken during the conflict. Armenia has also agreed to withdraw from several other adjacent areas over the next few weeks.
Bringing you back to Nigerian entertainment scene, Lil Frosh denies assaulting girlfriend again, says swollen face was a result of an allergy. Nigerian rapper Sani Goriola, also known as Lil Frosh, has yet again denied assaulting his girlfriend Gift Camille. The rapper made this known while answering questions about the assault on his girlfriend on the podcast I Want to Talk About It. He said, and I quote, "I didn't do it. She's my girlfriend. She called me that she noticed she was having a boil at the back of her ear. She said maybe it is an allergic reaction. She called me days later and said that the thing is getting worse. And I said, what? She said the boy, she was sending me the photos day by day. It happened for 7 days," they said. It could be recalled that the rapper was called out by his girlfriend's manager and brother about a month ago for assaulting his sister. According to him, the rapper is alleged to have a thing for coming back to beg Camille after beating her. Michael went on to share photos of the badly bruised face of Camille after she was allegedly beaten to a pulp by the rapper. Following the allegation leveled against him, his now former record label DMW terminated his contract.
And lastly, we take you back to the U.S. election. Trump can't vows legal fight. U.S. President Donald Trump's spokeswoman has vowed the legal battle to contest Joe Biden's White House election victory is just beginning. The election is not over. White House press secretary told the news conference, far from it. She made a flurry of allegations of election corruption, although no evidence of systematic fraud that might have influenced the results has emerged. Mr. Trump, a Republican, has not conceded the race, since media projected on Saturday that Mr. Biden had won the critical state of Pennsylvania, accumulating enough votes to claim the White House. The president-elect has forged ahead and his plans to take reins of the power. Mr. Trump took to Twitter again on Monday to dispute the outcome, making substantiated claims of unthinkable and illegal activity in the vote. The General Service Administration, which manages federal agencies, has held off on allowing Biden aides to formally begin the transition, saying no ascertainment on an election winner had yet been made. CBS News says the Biden team is considering its legal option if the Trump administration continues to stall the handover. White House reporters have been saying that despite his objections, Mr. Trump is expected to leave office in January and is already talking about running for the White House again in 2024. All right, Mitch McConnell, Majority Leader, U.S. Senate, says Trump 100% within rights to look into election irregularities. That wraps up today's edition of Kennis Entertainment News and news from other parts of the world. My name is Kenny Keke Okungwe.
My name is Ife Ajagbe.
And my name is Vice, the Vice of the Radio. Good morning.